Good afternoon. Welcome back to another segment of Building a Clear Online Presence. I am your host, Ebony Rose, and I am a social media consultant, and I'm here going live every single day this month to give you tips on how you can clearly show up for your business and clearly build an online presence for your business. We have been talking about different things. Sometimes we've been talking about the same things, repeating ourselves and making sure that it gets in us, that we know certain things. We just spent the last 3 days talking about websites and what your website should do and all the things, right? So before I get started, as always, please like and subscribe to this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. We only have about a week left of me going live every single day this month. Then we're shifting gears next month. So make sure you like and share, rewatch, hashtag, replay, all the things, right? Today we are talking about interacting with your business, okay? Every business creates an experience, whether it's international or not, right? How people feel when they land on your page or content matters, right? So a lot of times I see a lot of brands and a lot of influencers, they're posting great content. They have a good message, and they are just, you can tell they're doing the work, you can tell they're putting in the time to create their content. They're being strategic with putting it out, spreading it out throughout whatever it's like a week or a month. I see that. And then I see another side where they're not engaging with their followers. People are commenting on their pages, people are commenting on their posts and like hyping them up, and there's no interaction. There's no engagement on our end, the business owner, and just saying a thank you. You need to reply to your comments, and you need to give your brand, and it has to be an experience. You want people to feel like, you know, oh, she's normal. She's like me. She's busy. She's a mom. She's a business owner. She's doing this. She's doing that. I resonate with this. I'm going to comment. And then if you comment, that gives it another level of a different feeling for your brand, right? So, how people feel when they land on your page or content, it does matter, because they're either going to stop and engage and interact, or they're going to scroll and they're just going to be like, okay, whatever, right? If, again, we've talked about this when it came to websites, and this is in general too, just for content in general. If your content is confusing, it's going to equal sometimes to frustration, especially if they're trying to find something that you clearly are saying you offer. um if they cannot find it, it's going to become frustrating. Okay, we want to be clear, we want to be calm, because that's going to equal trustworthiness that we want to convey to our audience. And we want to be professional. We want our captions and our links and all of that to be clear and visible and easy to access. And we want our responses to be seen, not just by the person who's commenting, but by others that may happen to come to your page, even on your blogs, on your website. If people are going to your website to take time to comment on your blogs, take the time to say, okay, I posted this blog the other day. Let me go back and see if anybody made a comment, right? It's just thoughtful, and it shows people that you're responsive. It shows people that you're not just out here posting for likes, for shares, for attention. We all want to be visible on social media. We all want to grow on social media. That's just is what it is. If you are on social media and you're not planning to be visible, like, what are you even doing? If your plan is to grow on social media, then you're open to the visibility part of it. You're open to the feedback, you're open to the criticism, you're open to the comments, you're open to the likes, you're open to the shares, because you know that that's how it's going to grow your business. People commenting and liking and sharing on your content is going to grow your platforms. I promise you. And another way to help grow your platforms is for you to interact with your business. You cannot just post and ghost. You cannot just assume that people are just going to find you out there and want to work with you, especially if you have not been promoting yourself, especially if you have not been interacting in any other way, right? If they only see you once in a blue moon, they're not going to be like, oh, let me go interact with this page, right? So you have to interact. Your content, captions, links, and responses all shape this experience, okay? Everything that you do to interact with your business is going to give that experience for the viewer, for the consumer. And that's going to determine whether they come back or not. That's going to determine if they become they turn into, like, from a follower to a buyer. We talked about that. It's gonna determine all of those things. So you have to keep that in mind. We have to be people that are paying attention to our platforms. We have to look at who's commenting, and not to say that you have to be glued to your phone or glued to your computer every day. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying take time out. Set a reminder on your phone and say, check your social media posts. It doesn't take that long. Go through each one, depending on how many you have. If you have two, take a good 2 minutes to just go through your recent posts. It could be the recent 2 or 3 posts. See if anybody commented and respond. Thank you. Appreciate it. Quick and simple, and keep it moving, okay? But make sure you are taking time out to interact with your business and interact with those who are interacting with your business, right? Because we want to make sure we are always thinking of the consumer and the people that are taking the time out to support us, to help boost our platforms. Because at the end of the day, it really, really depends on them to help us get to where we want to be, right? Like, we can't do it on our own. We need the interaction, we need the engagement, we need the likes, we need the comments, we need the shares, we need all of that. So interact with your business this week, and all the other tips that I gave this week. But this is a very important one, and I really hope that people take this and they're reminded, like, oh yes, I need to go back and look to see if anybody commented on my post, because I'm not on social media that much. I hear a lot of people say, oh, I need to get better with this. I need to go and look at my pages. Yes, this is your brand. This is your business. Like, you have to be the first partaker. You have to be the one that is, like, so passionate about your business that you have to look at it every day, right? You have to make sure that things are flowing right. You have to make sure that things are, lining up. Things are still in the flow of what your vision is and what your mission is. So you can't just post and go to your business. You can't be on social media and then be like, oh, years later, you haven't posted in 5 years. Like, where have you been? I talked about that last month. The whole segment was showing up for your business, and we have to show up for our businesses. Nobody else is going to do it for us. If we are the visionary, if we received the vision and we know where we want this to go, we have to take the steps, which is the mission to get to the vision. We have to take those steps to get there, because nobody else is going to do it for us, because they weren't given the vision. You can have people in place on your team, and you can have meetings, and you can talk about your vision and what your dreams are, and they could be on board to help you carry that vision. But it is ultimately up to you, the entrepreneur, the business owner, to interact with your business. Make sure you're replying to comments. Make sure you're checking your pages daily. Make sure you're checking your emails daily, your blog posts daily, everything that you have out there. Make sure you are checking it, because you never know. Somebody could go back and comment on something from like a week ago, and you're missing it because you don't check frequently your social media, and then you miss a potential lead or a potential customer. They could be asking you a question, like, and you left them on red because you're not used to checking social media. Well, get used to checking social media, get used to checking on your business, and get used to interacting with your business, because this is what you signed up for. Being more visible on social media, building a clearer online presence on social media, and this is what it takes. This is what you need to do. And if you have a team, make sure there's somebody on your team who is checking out the metrics, the analytics, the data for your social media pages. Like, make sure you have somebody specifically assigned to do that, so nothing falls through the cracks, okay? And if you're solo like me, we gotta prioritize. We gotta work on our time management. We gotta put things in place. We gotta set up reminders for ourselves so that we can come back and say, okay, let me check on my business today. Look, I gotta see how it's doing, So That is my tip for you today. People may not remember everything you said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. Okay? So keep that in mind. That is all I have for today. Go to my website, visit my website, go to the Work With Me tab. You can see all the services that I offer to see how I can help you. And that's it. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m.